What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So this video here, we're just going to be talking about some keys to victory for Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. It is fight week. It's all officially started. It's all officially kicked off. We've seen today the grand arrivals of both fighters, Usyk, Fury, the entourages. They've done the grand arrivals, the official grand arrivals. I know they've been in Saudi already. So in this video, I'm just going to be looking at some keys to victory, some of the things that I believe will be beneficial for Tyson Fury, and some of the tools that he will sort of need to use in order to win this fight, or at least in my opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. So Tyson Fury, what could he do to win this fight? I think, first of all, one of the first tactics he could employ is he could just simply fight like a big man, as they say, as Lennox Lewis and others have said. Use his size, use his strength, use his height and reach, and simply fight on the outside. So he could select the tactic of keeping this as a boxing match and keeping this fight long. Try to keep Usyk on the end of his straight punches and not try to avoid allowing Alexander Usyk to get close to him. You know, keep everything at the end of his straight punches, keep Usyk on the outside, pepper and poke Usyk from the outside with a good, strong, solid jab, even sometimes mix it up with a flicking jab, and just keep the smaller man on the outside. And then if Usyk gets close, you just tie him up like Tyson Fury does. Lean on him with your body weight. But for the most part, one tactic he could use is just keep things long, keep Usyk at the end of the punches. Use your, all your reach and your 6'9" use your footwork and everything, and keep the fight long. Lean back, get away from his punches. Don't give the smaller man a chance to get in range and to do any damage. That's one tactic. So keep it long, fight like a big man. When the smaller man gets close, you just tie him up, and then he's got to restart again. Now, I think another key to victory could be, a different style could be, if Tyson Fury is more aggressive in his approach. So what he could do, push Alexander Usyk back, use intelligent aggression. He feints on his way in. Tyson Fury's good at feinting. He's been throwing less feints of late, but if he can sell Alexander Usyk on some good feints and on his way in, and then go into to attack, so sort of offset Alexander Usyk feint, trick him on your way in, make Alexander Usyk have to be second guessing himself by using your feints and using your aggression. So he could approach this in an aggressive manner, where he comes in and he feints on Alexander Usyk, again, as always, using a jab on the way in, but using a jab, feinting, and then attacking in like two or so phases. So I think that's one of a tactic. So he could box him long. He could do it by pushing Usyk back, but not recklessly pushing him back, but doing it intelligently, putting intelligent pressure on Alexander Usyk, feinting and making Alexander Usyk have to sort of second guess himself. That's another thing that I think could be key for Tyson Fury. Now, thirdly, a third sort of tactic that I believe in, this is something that if you're a tough fan of Tyson Fury like myself, I've watched him for years. I've quite enjoyed his career. I've seen him fight live once in that controversial John McDermott fight years ago. And one thing that he can do well is switch stances. And for me, I think in this fight against a tricky southpaw like Alexander Usyk, switching stances is something that could be a key to victory for Tyson Fury, because I think when you switch stances on a guy, it means they've got to kind of rethink their attack. They've got to kind of rethink what they're doing. So I think if Tyson Fury can go back in a sense to some of his old days, where he used to sometimes box southpaw and switch up his attacks. Some rounds you go southpaw, come out southpaw, then switch it mid round, and then you're orthodox. And I think doing things like this, switching stances, is something that could be paramount for Tyson Fury. Could be a real key to victory for Tyson Fury, because, as I said before, what switching stances could do, even to a boxer as good and as skilled as Alexander Usyk is. It can, they're having one plan and they're boxing you one way and you're in the orthodox stance, but then suddenly you switch it to southpaw. And what this causes the opponent to do is they have to now reset themselves and they now have to rethink what they're doing. So in the case of Tyson Fury, if he does this successfully and switches stances, that switch will now cause Alexander Usyk to have to switch things and have to perhaps change up his tactics or have to maybe pause for a second or to reset himself. So the important thing is with switching stances for Fury, it will kind of distract Alexander Usyk and it may even cause Alexander Usyk a little bit of confusion. Maybe, maybe not, but I think it's definitely something worth considering for Tyson Fury to win this fight, because if he can do that successfully, it can cause confusion. Of course, as others have said, I think Hatman said in his video, you don't do the switching of stances too often because then a guy could get used to it. But if he picks his spots and does it at key points in the fight, this could be a tactic that confuses and causes Alexander Usyk to rethink what he's doing and to reset, and it could cost him rounds if you do that successfully. So that's a third point that could be key to victory there. Now the fourth point and the last one that I'll make is a very obvious one, which is attacking the body. Now Daniel Dubois showed us that obviously he can be hurt to the body. I'm one of the people that thought it was kind of a borderline shot that, it wasn't right in the crown jewels, but it was borderline low. It was to the point where, I don't have a problem with the referee's low blow call. And there's been times in the amateurs, there's been times against Anthony Joshua where he's been hitting the body. You could see that he visibly grimaced, and he doesn't like it downstairs. He doesn't like it to the body. It's no secret. So if you're Tyson Fury, I think another last key to victory for me is what you do from early is you sink shots downstairs. There could be a jab and then a little right hook to the body. It could be a jab to the head, right hand downstairs. But I think for me, in order to win this fight, Fury's going to have to, from very early rounds of the fight, he's going to have to go downstairs. He's going to have to attack the body, because I think the legs and the footwork are such a key part of Alexander Usyk's game. They're a massive, massive part of his game. If you take away the legs from Alexander Usyk, then you take away, half of what he does well, because everything he does, as with every other exceptional boxer, is with the feet. So his ability to move in and out of range and move side to side, all of that, it's all coming from his legs. Everything that he does well, it does come off the footwork. So if you can take away his legs and turn them to jelly and hurt him early to the body, then you're at least halfway there to beating Alexander Usyk, because his legs are a massive, massive part of his game. So I believe it's that punch into the body and get into his body, go into his body from early, could serve a great purpose for Tyson Fury, in that doing that could slow Alexander Usyk down, and it takes away a massive part of his strength. It takes away his strength, which is his legs and his footwork. So those are my 4 keys to victory. I think number 1, as I said, he can fight like a big man, keep the fight long, keep Usyk at the end of his straight punches. And when Usyk comes in at close range, you grab Usyk, you hold him, lean your body weight onto him. Number 2, he could push Usyk back, intelligent aggression, using his feints as he attacks and try to throw Usyk off that way. Thirdly, as I've said, you can switch stances, switch into southpaw, between southpaw and orthodox at certain key points. I think that's another key. And lastly, I've said attacking the body is also something that Fury's got to do to take away the legs of Alexander Usyk. So let me know your thoughts on this. That's just my keys to victory for Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. What do you think about this? And who do you have winning on Saturday? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.